Hey everyone, Yanni Plays here and welcome back to 100 Days Winemaking. So if you take a look at the top left corner, you can see we are still somewhere in the timeline on where we ended the last video. Now, I had somebody put a comment in and say, hey, try if you can go and do one of the autosaves. And I was like, hey, that actually is a pretty good idea because there is an autosave option. So I went in there and I did start my recording software, and I think it was the 7th or the 8th day. So I was right around here where this autosave kicked in, and as you can see, that's my balance, and the balance just constantly went down. And over here on the 10th is where I usually went bankrupt. So because that is where I just missed the income. So if we look at the income, you can see I was just flatlining for the longest time because I had a lot of bad years. I didn't have enough wine. It just wasn't covering my expenses anymore. And if we look at the expenses, we turn everything off. I was keeping my expenses low. I wasn't buying anything. I wasn't doing anything unnecessary. I actually not even was tending to my fields anymore to save those 300-400 euros every go round. But I still went bankrupt most of my tries, and then after like the third try, I turned off my recording softwares because I was just getting frustrated. But guess what? On my fourth try, I finally made it. I figured out the balance that I needed to have between my bulk sell, which of my 3 wines do I need to bulk sell, and then figuring out over here, and that was the bulk sell here. And then over here I had to figure out which of my wines can I bottle and how many bottles can I do to make sure that I am not dipping too low again. So we finally recovered here. And as you can see, the money now keeps on going up. So we are already back up to 50,000. If we look into my wine log, most of my 44 wine is already gone. I am currently working on my 45 and also my 44 wine on the Nebbiolo. The other one that I have left over, yeah, we just have 3 bottles. So money is still very tight. But if we look over into our cellar, we currently have 3 wines in here. 2 of them are almost done, as you can see over in the dots here. The Nebbiolo still has ways to go until we get there, but so far everything looks pretty good. So the Barbero, we had a great quality, and we are going to hit all of the stars here. Chardonnay, we just had the good grapes here. But again, we're going to hit all the stars. So both of them are going to bring us some good money in. Nebbiolo, we don't know yet, but if we look at the wine data, again, an excellent year. So that is good to see, and that is probably going to be the wine that once we figure out where our stars are, where we need to go, that is most likely our wine that we are going to get our 100 out of 100, or at least I hope so. Now, how did we get in such bad shape? Well, I just spent too much money. So as you can see, we were talking about some board upgrades the last time, and just those 3 here is already 200,000 that I spent just on board upgrades. And in our last episode, we already started on our small cask. And again, I was just chasing high numbers, and I went and I bought the small cask. That was another 50,000 for this one here. And then the cask itself, I can't even remember how much that was. Let's see. The barrel itself is also 15,000. So just all of those expenses here already added up with the extension of the winery. That already added up to way over 300,000. So I just bit up a little bit too much than I could chew. So that's why I went bankrupt. But we recovered. So let's go ahead and see what we can do here. I am still trying to be very, very careful with my money because I don't want to get into the same situation as the last time. Now, we don't have a loan anymore. I was able to pay off the loan that I had because that's the other thing that I ran into here. I still had loan payments that I had to do. So I couldn't just get a loan to keep my balance above 0. All right, well, let's go ahead and start bottling up. And I am going to bottle my Chardonnay first. Oh, and also need to make new bottle designs because with the bottling I had to go with the cheapest of the cheapest bottle. But now that we have a little bit of money back in, we can go back to our standard bottle. That will be the one for the white wine. But yeah, you can see 17 grand are just going to fly out of our bank account. And we are going to press this one here. Now let's take a quick look into the book again. Our Nebbiolo. I would say that this one here of the tannin is greener than this one here. So I think tannin we need to be on a max. Sweetness we already figured out. Body probably is also a max body. Because it would be the comparison between this one here and this one here. And for me it seems like this one is a little bit lighter. If both of them would be the same, I would say body needs to be here. I have the feeling that this one here is... I'm not sure. You know what? Let's just try to go for this one here for now. So that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's go for 8 body, full tannin. Sweetness we already have there. Acidity, guess we just go wherever we land. We can try a max acidity, but that's not something that I can impact anymore because it is already harvested. So tannin max. So let's just press it as much and as hard as we can, I guess. And then we can age it up to a very high body. And we're out of wine again. So until for the next 4 turns, we are not going to have any money coming in. Actually, it's 4 turns plus 1 for the tasting, plus 1 until they start selling. So we're going to have 6 turns that we don't have any money coming in. But the new board is wonderful because now I actually can harvest 2 wines at the same time. And also I figured out things like suckering doesn't cost me anything, but weeding costs me money, and I don't understand why. Why some of those things cost me money and the other ones don't. But yeah, we should be good now because with our expenses right now, we have every month we have, or every day that we go by, you have the 2,500 expenses right now. Now, of course, when we are going to bottle, that is going to be a larger expense again. But I think I'm going to bottle the Barbera first, because Barbero you just have 21 hectoliters, where the Nebbiolo, I always say it wrong. Nebbiolo has 75 hectoliters, so this one is going to be way more expensive bottling than the Barbera. Alright, let's see what we got here. An 83 out of 100. Going to sell for 17, so that is very good. That is going to give us some good money in. And now that I have something in my cellar to sell, I am okay with going and spending another 13 grand on bottling this one here. This one here is not even going to bottle everything, because we're going to be down at 0 again. There is going to be another bottling that we have to do. 95. I know we once had a 96, so this one here is almost there. Almost there. I'm wondering if I need to be... Where do I see the alcohol? I think, yeah, it's just a 10%. I'm wondering if I need to get this one higher. But the problem is this one I can only get higher if I have more sugar. I'm not getting more sugar without the acidity already falling off. 97. The body of the wine is too high. So now we're too high, so we have to go lower. We hit the tannins, so that is very good. Acidity Still not there. So let's check our logbook really quick. Nebbiolo. Alright, so body must be here then. Instead of full body. And acidity. I guess acidity is also going to be max. So we're trying to harvest you early while the acidity is still high. Alright, principal, we have to harvest our next turn. Brico still has to give me a little bit more. But I have to make sure to have the board available so that I can harvest. Alright, principal is being harvested. I also need to harvest Brico, but I put one in the way. So the Brico is going to be harvested one turn too late. And I decided to now actually go and harvest our Nebbiolo, even though we should have also harvested that earlier, but trying to get a better quality on this one than our Brico, where we already have some pest on it again. So let's go ahead and crush you. And here we just have a good quality. Good quantity as well. That's not gonna be our hottest year. You know, I'm really tempted to look into some more bacteria. It's 50,000. Yeah, we're gonna have to wait on that. Because that's exactly how we got into the drama that we already had. How did you get infected with powdery mildew? Did I not just protected everything in here? The protection just ran out. Or can it just be protected against one or the other? So right now we have the downy on here. So let's see in 2 turns if I have 2 protections on or just 1. Alright, let's see. Yeah, now I have both protections on. So I can get both on it. Alright, let's go and press. And I already forgot. I think it's 8 that we say we're going to try. Yeah, the third one from the top. And max 10 in. Since I have the small cask, I'm not going all the way up with our press intensity. Because I think... Yeah, I thought I read somewhere that the higher you press, the lower the quality is, so... Alright, well, let's see how our Nebbiolo is 79. We got the body now, so that's good. Got the body, we got the sweetness, we got the tannin. Still working on acidity, but I expect the acidity to be all the way up here. But that was the second last thing that we're doing, because we need more storage. And I just want to do that before I forget. Let's get another pallet rack. And now we are going to end this episode here. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope I see you next Friday. Thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your day.